Here's the pitch. Swung on line to third. Caught by Ramirez. Ball game.
From impossible to first place.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Monaghan. Today is Wednesday, September 24th. And on July 8th, the Guardians were 15 and a half games back of the Tigers for first place in the AL Central. Jose Ramirez was booking his October vacation to Sri Lanka. Cleveland fans were hoping, hey, maybe the Browns will be good this year. But now, after one of the craziest comebacks in history, the Guardians are in first place in the AL Central. We'll get into their wild win over the Tigers. The Yankees and the Mariners have clinched postseason spots, but are coming for more. The Mets, from the brink, had an epic comeback to retake the last wildcard spot in the NL. And look out for those D-backs. Let's get to it. After being 15 and a half games behind the Tigers at one point this season, the Guardians were facing off against Detroit in game one of a 3-game set on Tuesday, just one game back. The Tigers were apparently not happy about this collapse, so they sent one of the best pitchers in the world to the mound, Tarik Skubal. Skubal was fantastic, striking out 6 while giving up 0 runs through the first 5 innings. Riley Green homered and Wenzel Perez doubled to give Detroit a 2-0 lead. But then, in the 6th inning, it was time for some insane, old-fashioned 2025 guards ball. They would take the lead without one ball leaving the infield. Let's run through it. Steven Kwan had a bunt single to start things off. Angel Martinez had a sacrifice bunt that Skubal made an error on and threw away. And then, with runners on second and third, it was Jose Ramirez time.
Slow chopper up the third baseline. McKinstry's only play is at first. He has no play. It's an infield RBI single, and it's a 2-1 game.
2-1. And then Skubal, whoop!
In the dirt, it got away from Dingler. In to score the tying run, Martinez. Into second is Ramirez.
2-2. After getting an out, Skubal, probably totally confused as to what just transpired, then balked Ramirez over to third. Gabriel Arias, up next, thought, well, I guess I don't have to hit it out of the infield either.
Slow chopper to first. That'll get the go-ahead run home. 3-2 Cleveland, and a ball still has not left the infield.
3-2 Guardians. Daniel Schneemann would add a 2 RBI single in the 7th to make it 5-2. And that was plenty for Gavin Williams, who struck out 12 over 6 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs. The Cleveland Guardians, inexplicably, inconceivably, I can't find enough synonyms to explain it, are tied for first place in the AL Central with the Tigers. And they own the tiebreaker. The land is alive. The Yankees entered Tuesday just 2 games back of the Blue Jays for first place in the AL East and 1 win away from clinching a wildcard berth. Austin Wells gave the Yanks an early 1-0 lead over the White Sox on an RBI double, and Luis Ciel gave up 0 runs until, well, the 6th inning, when Colson Montgomery hit a 2-run dinger, his 19th, to give the White Sox a 2-1 lead. But the Yankees are not going to make the playoffs. So why not just get over with last night? In the 9th, still down 2-1, with runners on first and third and 2 outs, Anthony Volpe scored on a wild pitch to tie things up. The next batter, Jose Caballero. Retire his jersey in Monument Park right now.
Looped into center field, coming on Taylor. He's not going to make the play. Here comes Judge. He'll score, and the Yankees are going to the postseason.
The Yankees advanced to their 8th postseason in the last 9 years. That's pretty good. And they also get within 1 game of the first place Blue Jays. The Jays were playing the Red Sox and former Yankee Carlos Narvaez.
Lengthy run here for Lucas. He is not going to get it. It's onto the track. That's going to score 1 run. Here comes the 2nd run. And how about the shot by Narvaez?
Behind a solid start from Lucas Giolito and 4 1/3 scoreless innings from the bullpen, the Sox beat the Jays 4-1. They are now 4 games back of Toronto for first place and 1 game up on the Tigers for the final wildcard slot in the AL. The other clinch? That was over in Seattle. The Mariners needed that Yankees win and their own win Down 3-1 in the 8th with the bases loaded, Joshua Naylor.
To the gap, left center field, it touches down, base hit, Rayleigh scores, JP's waving home, Julio to the plate, Josh Naylor!
A 3-run double to give the M's a 4-3 win over the Rockies. The Mariners have clinched a playoff berth, and after an Astros 5-1 loss to the A's, are now 4 games up in the AL West, with their magic number to clinch the division down to just 2. Throw your tridents up and drop those big dumpers down. Seattle is dancing this October. Coming up, are the Mets back for like the 7th time this season? Who knows? We'll get into their big win after the break. Stop me if you heard this one before, but things did not look good for the Mets on Tuesday. After holding sole possession of a wildcard spot for months, they had dropped into a tie for the last spot with the Reds and would lose any tiebreaker. And almost right away, by the 4th inning, they were down 6-1 to the Cubs. David Peterson didn't make it out of the 2nd inning. Mr. Met started looking for the Queen's sword he'd hibernate in for the long, cold winter. But then, in the 5th, after getting the score to 6-3, Brandon Nimmo stepped up with 2 on and hello.
Raking ball hit deep to right field. Back goes Suzuki onto the track in front of the ivy. It's gone! A 3-run game-tying homer for Brandon Nimmo.
6-6. A Francisco Lindor RBI single made it 7-6, but the Cubs would tie things back up at 7. In the 8th, though, it was that other Francisco, Alvarez, and he has kind of a flair for the dramatic.
And he drives one deep left center field. Armstrong back, and it's out of here! Francisco Alvarez puts the Mets in front with a 2-run homer!
9-7 Mets. Edwin Diaz came in for a 6-out save and got all 6, helped by 5 electric strikeouts.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, put it in the books. The New York Mets have regained control of their destiny.
So what about the Reds? Elly De La Cruz hit his 21st dinger of the year, but the Pirates scored 4 in the 2nd off Brady Singer. And since he lost to Pittsburgh 4-2, they are now 1 game back of the Mets for the final wildcard spot in the National League. Elsewhere around the league,
Base hit, hurry, here comes Tower. Alex Cole with a throw, he is safe!
Speaking of the NL wildcard race, Shohei Ohtani struck out 8 over 6 scoreless, but it wasn't enough as those pesky D-backs came back to walk off LA 5-4. They are now, like the Reds, just 1 game back of the Mets for that final wildcard position. The Dodgers, meanwhile, are just 1 game up on the Padres for first place in the NL West. San Diego blew out the Brewers 7-0, helped by a Ryan O'Hearn grand slam in the 1st inning. Randy Vasquez tossed 7 scoreless, 1-hit innings in the win. The Friars are now also just a game and a half out of the first wildcard spot held by the Cubs. Kyle Schwarber hit his 54th home run of the year, but the Phillies lost to the red-hot Marlins 6-5 in 11 innings. Heriberto Hernandez hit a huge game-tying home run in the 9th to even things up. Miami has now won 7 in a row, and they're just 3 games under 500, and still somehow alive at 4.5 games back in the NL wildcard race. For any other scores and news, head on over to MLB.com. That's all for today's morning lineup. Mandy Bell will be back with you tomorrow. A couple games to watch? The Tigers and Guardians, both now tied for first place, will face off at 6:40 Eastern on MLB.tv. You gotta watch that. The Mets and Cubs, Jonah Tong versus Matthew Boyd, will also square off at 8:05 Eastern. It's on ESPN, so you know it's important. And as always, please don't forget to leave us a rating and a review, share this podcast with the baseball lovers in your life, and enjoy all the games today.